Welcome to my channel Arunkumar at examguru. This video is about surveying, an important topic in civil engineering. There will be 5 multiple choice questions on principles and classification of surveying. Question 1. The polar axis is shorter than the equatorial axis of the Earth by option A 45.5 kilometers, option B 50 kilometers, option C 42.95 kilometers, and option D 55 kilometers. In order to answer this question, we need to know about the shape of the Earth. We think Earth is a perfect sphere, but it's not exactly spherical. It is oblate spheroid, meaning the Earth's diameter on polar axis and equatorial axis are different. This is equatorial axis parallel to the equator, and this is polar axis connecting the two poles. The length of polar axis is 12713,800 meters, and the length of equatorial axis is 12756,750 meters. From the calculations, the polar axis is shorter than the equatorial axis by 42.95 kilometers and is 0.34% shorter. Hence, the right answer to the question 1 is option C, 42.95 kilometers. Question 2. The principle of surveying is option A, to work from whole to part, option B, to locate a point from two known points of references, option C, both the above, and option D, none of the above. What are the principles of surveying? There are two principles. First principle is to work from whole to part. The second principle is to locate a point from two known points of reference. Now, what does the first principle say? So if you consider a drawing on the sheet, we are going to look at the part of a drawing to get more details, and this is done to get more accuracy. Hence, the first principle is done to get more accuracy. Considering the second principle, let's take two known points of reference P and Q. Then we can easily locate the third point R from the two known points of reference. What are the different ways to locate a third point R from two known points of reference P and Q? We are going to study the 4 methods related to the second principle. The case 1 is measuring distances PR and QR. By measuring these two distances, the point R can be located. The second method is measure the distance RS, which is perpendicular distance from R to line PQ, and measuring distance PS. The third method to locate R is by measuring distance QR and the angle PQR. The fourth method is to measure the angles PQR and QPR. These are the 4 major ways to locate the third point. Hence, for question 2, the right answer will be option C, both the above. Now, question 3, the plane surveying is applicable up to an area of option A, 250 square kilometers, option B, 200 square kilometers, option C, 195 square kilometers, and option D, 150 square kilometers. In order to answer this question, we should know what is the primary classification of surveying. They are of two types, plane surveying and geodetic surveying. Let's look into plane surveying. In plane surveying, the Earth's surface is considered flat and it's valid only up to 250 square kilometers. That is, in the figure, the area is less than 250 square kilometers. Level lines, that is, the lines drawn parallel to surface under consideration, are straight. I have marked the level line in red color in the figure. Triangles are plane. If you draw a triangle On the flat surface, it will be a plane triangle. Plumb lines, that is lines drawn perpendicular to the surface, are all parallel to each other as shown in the figure. So what are the different facts that are considered in plane surveying? The length of the arc, 12 km on Earth's surface, is only 1 centimeter greater than the subtended chord. In the figure, ACB is the arc whose length is less than 12 kilometers. Then AB is the subtended chord. Then according to this fact, the length of arc ACB minus chord AB is only 1 centimeters. Now there is another fact that is considered in plane surveying. For that, you should know what is spherical triangle. So if you draw a triangle along the curved surface of the earth, it is called spherical triangle because the earth is sphere. In the figure, ACB is the spherical triangle. It is shown in red colors. The triangle formed by subtended chord of the spherical triangle is called plane triangle. In the figure, the plane triangle is marked, which is obtained by the subtended chord of the spherical triangle. The difference between the sum of the angles in a plane triangle and that of spherical triangle is only 1 second for an area of 195 square kilometers. It is the second fact that is considered in plane survey. That means if the area of the surface is less than 195 square kilometers, as shown in the figure, if we take the sum of the angles of the plane triangle ABC, that is angle A plus angle B plus angle C of plane triangle ABC, and subtract it from the sum of the angles of the spherical triangle ABC, which is shown in red color, the result will be 1 second. Now let's look at the second primary classification, that is geodetic surveying. Here the actual spherical shape of the earth is considered, and it is used for work of larger magnitude and higher degree of precision. The level lines, that is lines drawn parallel to Earth's surface, are curved, and the triangles are spherical because the spherical shape of the Earth is considered. And the plumb lines, that is lines drawn perpendicular to Earth's surface, will be intersecting each other at the center of the Earth. As you can see in the figure, all the plumb lines which are perpendicular to the Earth's surface intersect at the center. So question 3, the plane surveying is applicable up to an area of, the right answer is option A, 250 square kilometers. Question 4, the type of survey that deals with the laying of water supply lines is option A, cadastral survey, option B, engineering survey, option C, astronomical survey, and option D, military survey. Let's look at the other classification of surveying other than the primary classification. The other classification is subdivided into 3 categories: nature of field survey, object of the survey, and instruments or method used. The nature of field survey is further classified into 3: land survey, marine survey, and astronomical survey. Land survey, which is further classified into topographical, cadastral, and city survey. Now the object of the survey, it is further classified into engineering, military, mine, geological, and archaeological. And based on instruments or methods used, surveying is classified into chain, theodolite, traverse, triangulation, tachymetry, plane table, and photogrammetric surveys. Let's look into each of these surveys. The first category was nature of the field survey, and in that the first classification was land survey, which was further divided into topographical survey, cadastral survey, and city survey. Now what is topographical survey? This type of survey is used to determine the general topographic features such as hills, rivers, and vegetation. B. Cadastral survey. This type of survey is used to mark the boundaries of plots, as you can see in the figure. C. That is city survey. This type of survey is used in the construction of streets, water supply systems, and sewers. Now, based on nature of field survey, the second classification is marine or hydrographic survey. This type of survey deals with water bodies for the purpose of harbor works, navigation, and finding discharge of streams. And based on nature of field survey, the last classification was astronomical survey, and this type of survey helps in determining location of any point on the Earth's surface, taking observation on heavenly bodies such as stars. Now, based on object of the survey, there were 5 classifications. The first one is engineering survey. This type of survey helps in determining quantities required for design of engineering work such as roads, reservoirs, dams, etc. The second classification was military survey. This type of survey is used for determining points of strategic importance. And the third classification is mine survey. This type of survey is used for exploring mineral wealth within the soil. The fourth classification is geological survey. This type of survey is used for determining layers of Earth's crust. And the last classification is archaeological survey. And this type of survey is used for unearthing relics of antiquity. Now, based on instruments or methods used, there were 7 classifications, and the first one is chain survey. And this type of survey uses metric chains as shown. Theodolite survey. This type of survey uses theodolite for angular measurements. And the third one is traverse survey. In this method, a number of interconnected survey lines forms a framework which is known as traverse. It's shown in the figure. Triangulation survey. In this method of survey, the plot is divided into triangles and the principles of geometry is used to find the distance. The fifth one is tachymetric survey. This tachymetry is a branch of surveying in which horizontal and vertical distances are determined by taking angular observations with an instrument known as tachyometer. A schematic diagram of tachyometer is shown in the figure. Number 6, plane table survey. Plane table survey uses a drawing board to transfer the point from ground to the sheet on the table using alidate, trough compass, and spirit level. This is alidate, this is trough compass, and this is spirit level. Number 7, photogrammetric survey. It uses photographs to measure the physical features on ground by means of drones or any other flying equipments. Question 4, the type of survey that deals with the laying of water supply lines is, the right answer is option D, city survey. Question 5, the type of survey that deals with exploring mineral wealth is, the right answer is option C, mine survey. Thank you, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and press the bell icon to receive more updates.